What's up? Today I'm addressing something on the Mustang I've been wanting to do for a while. It's just haven't had time and other things going on. But when I first got the car, I had like three major mods that we did to it. And it was my H-pipe, my spoiler, and I was actually gifted a front lip, the RTR style front lip. My brother got that for me, threw it on, but when I did it, I used some painter's tape and it actually peeled the finish off because it's not a real RTR. I got it installed nonetheless, did it by myself, and I was using painter's tape to kind of hold up the one side for me while I was buttoning up the other side. And when I peeled the painter's tape off, it peeled off the finish with it. But today we're gonna get that cleared up. We're gonna take the front bumper off. We're going to switch out the lower grille, and we're gonna repaint that lip. Eventually I wanna get a Mach 1 style front bumper, possibly maybe a GT350 style front bumper on there. But for now, we'll live with the factory with the RTR style, and we will keep saving up for that Mach 1 style front bumper. So first thing we'll do to get started is we're going to jack up the front, and we'll start taking the belly pan off, taking all the bolts and push pins loose that we need to take off in order to get that front fascia off. And then we will remove the lip and get it scuffed down and ready for paint. So these are the materials I'm going to use for paint. We went with the Duplicolor trim and paint bumper paint. Looked up a couple reviews on YouTube and some guys doing some pieces on their cars. It came out pretty nice. The cap shows a gloss black, but that's not what the finish is supposed to be. It's supposed to be kind of a satin finish. So and that's what they mentioned in their videos as well. So, and then I also got some a scuffing pad. I think this should be more than enough between this and some sanding pads that I have to kind of clean up these kind of get the finish off of this, smooth it out, and then I'll probably sand the bottom, get some of these rough edges off, and some of this extra stuff here that we've gotten from driveways and things like that. So we'll get it off and get it cleaned up. Front bumper off. And you got to I take off the belly pan, which has like 20 something screws on it. I might be exaggerating, I don't know, didn't count them. You got to take the radiator cover off. There's a few screws up here you got to take off. You got to remember to unplug your fog light turn signal harnesses on both sides. And then you also got to remove the bumper clips on both sides, and then you can get it off. Here you can kind of see in better lighting the damage I was talking about. I kind of just peeled that finish right off. It's kind of dirty because I've been driving it. It's been raining over here, but you can see here a little bit of damage. And then just like, I'm gonna try to sand this stuff down a little bit. Just wear and tear. There it is. This is the lower grille we're throwing on it. It's a gloss black bullet style honeycomb grill. I think it'll pair up nice with the factory upper grille. So get that thrown on too at the same time. So on the back side, to get this lower grill out, got a couple of tabs here. We're gonna need to pop all those tabs, get this out here. But before you can get to some of these, over here you gotta take this bumper support out, and it's also just held in by some tabs down in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip that bumper support out, and then I'm gonna rip out the lower grille. So you can kind of see these slots here. I see these slots here, these little tabs, and they just push into little tabs on the bumper there. You can see. So we got all those out. And here's the new bumper. Some gloss black. Nice gloss black, honeycomb all the way through. It's the bullet style, I believe. Bullet style grill, lower grill. So. Okay. Friend. Should be a matter of just lining up the tabs and snapping it in. So the key to get these in, these lower ones kind of snapped in pretty good, just by kind of like rolling it this way. So putting pressure here, supporting the bottom from underneath. From the top ones, you gotta reach under and support the bumper from this side. So you gotta support right here and then push up here. So otherwise the whole bumper just kind of flexes down and you don't get that upward force from the fascia to the grill, and these clips won't pop in. So got them all popped in now, and let's flip it over and see what it looks like. Don't forget about the support, bumper support. Toss that in right quick. Look at that. Man, so the gloss black looks really good. Oh yeah, gloss black looks really good. So here it is with the gloss black upper and gloss black lower billet grill, or bullet grill, I'm sorry. Should have came this way, I think, from factory. Still got the same amount of vents and openings here at the bottom as you do with the factory grill. So all that's the same. You just have that nice gloss black look. Nice. Looks much better. All right, so I'm just giving this thing a quick wash. Got it off the bumper. Just doing it a quick soap wash. Scrub it down with a brush. Rinse it off, let it dry, and we're gonna start prepping it for paint. All right, so I got this thing washed down. I'm about to dry it off. So I'm gonna get it dried up as best as I can, and then start sanding down on it. All right, so this is before sanding. And I'm gonna hit it with the Scotch-Brite pad. So as you're doing this, it's the kind of finish you want. You see how it's flat, nice and flat, and then over here it's glossy. And we're looking for this flat, kind of hazy look. So I'll kind of show you the difference before I went any further. All right, so I got the piece propped up on a box here so I can access the edges. A little bit of hangover. I spray these edges really good. And throw down a quick light coat of this Duplicolor trim and bumper paint. So it says mask it off, sand it, and then we're going to shake this can pretty well, maybe 2 minutes. And then we're going to do 10 minutes in between coats. So probably let this dry up and cure up overnight and during the day tomorrow. And then we'll throw everything back together if it looks good. There's a nice spray nozzle on it. It's got a really nice spray nozzle, directional, so you can adjust it. If you want to turn it, you can turn it. I'm gonna leave it vertical. This first coat, just did a light coat. Do a couple of light coats until it starts filling in everywhere. You kind of see what it looks like. Alright, so this is the second coat. You can start to see taking over more of a black color. A lot of the finer scratches and stuff are still there. I think it's gonna be that way, but I'm also missing some spots here that I need to hit with some paint. So I think on this third coat, I'm gonna go a little heavier than I have on the other ones, and get some more coverage on this one. You see some of the sanding mark still, and imperfections like this, like these little cuts and chips in there, and like these things here, they're gonna stay in there. The paint's not gonna fill those deeper cuts in, but I'm gonna try to get some more coverage here on the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on third coat. I'm gonna go heavy on this one. This is fresh after I sprayed the third coat. Said I was gonna go heavy on it, so just went heavy all the way around. And now it looks very glossy, but it actually ends up drying pretty flat. So that's just fresh after a coat. And we will let it dry 10 minutes. We'll throw probably 1 or 2 more coats on this thing, depending on how it looks. Maybe 1 or 2 more coats. All right, so this is 10 minutes after letting it dry. Still looks slightly glossy, but we're gonna hit it with 1 more final coat, and then I'm gonna let it sit overnight and all day tomorrow while I'm at work, and see how it dries up. If we want to do any other sanding or anything from there. So here we go, last coat. All right, this final coat. Again, looks really glossy just for being a heavy coat, but I think by tomorrow afternoon, once this dries up, it's gonna be more of a satin or flat black look to it. I think I may have sanded a little too hard down here in this crease right here, so I probably would have, if I could change anything looking right now, probably would have been maybe not going hard with the sandpaper right here. Might have gouged it a little bit more than I wanted to, so just be careful sanding like areas like that if you're doing this on your vehicle. Let's check this side. This side doesn't look like I gouged this side too bad, like the other side, but that's what it should look like. And all these little spots that we're seeing on the lip here are actually indentions. They are from rocks or debris or sand. And if I really wanted to get all these, each one of these little bitty dots out, I'd have to probably use some body filler, sand it down really good. Maybe even should have primed this with a primer. Maybe would have helped fill in some of that stuff, but again, I'm not getting too serious with it because this is ultimately what it's going to end up like on these corners. I'll eventually hit something or bottom out somewhere just because I drive the car so often, and I like being able to take the car wherever I want and not have to worry about low areas. The car's only lowered on Ibach Pro Line kit, so it's just a 1-inch drop, and but I still end up in places where I scrape pretty bad like this. So anyways, we'll leave this alone, let it dry overnight, and let it cure up throughout the day, and I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow afternoon when I get back in from work. But it's looking pretty good. Can't wait to throw it on the car. Pick you guys back up tomorrow. Alright, so this is the next day. Got plenty of time to cure up and dry. And you can see it stayed a little glossier than I thought it would. It's still not like straight up gloss, but it is I guess it is a satin finish, but a lot darker than the factory trim. So if you're comparing it to factory, oh, my car's dirty, but it's more of a gray. It's gonna be more of a black. So get it thrown on the bumper, get it back on the car. There it is. Looks pretty good. See how low that gets. It's gonna scrape. So here it is out in the sunlight. It's kind of satiny color. A little more shinier and glossier than I thought it would be, but I think overall it's qualifies as satin and not really gloss. You can see a few areas where I may have sanded a little too harsh, but it was never meant to be perfect. It was just meant to freshen up the look a little bit without having to buy another lip. So, and then that lower bullet grill looks pretty good. So that's a wrap for this project. It's pretty fun. I spent a few hours on it, maybe total, I'd say like 4 hours. Sanding, painting, disassembly, all that stuff. So for that amount of time, it came out pretty good. Came out with a little bit of a satin finish there. You can see a little bit shinier than I expected, but it's all right, it looks good. And it'll get me by for now. So see you next time on the next one.